So welcome everyone to the first of the Detroit TSUAA Foundation speaker series entitled Think, Work, Serve. Our first guest is actually George McKinney. He's a former chapter president, as well as he was a membership chair for several years, and I believe he was the vice president. I could be corrected. But George, tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of your alumni participation.
Participation, practically everything in the Alumni Association, from Sergeant at Arms, starting off as Sergeant at Arms, to being on committees, to Vice President, record a little bit of recording secretary, financial secretary. You know, once you become the president, you got to fill in and do everybody's job. You know how that goes. The job must get done. If you want to go all the way back to TSU, when I was a freshman, I signed up for to be one of the people that go and talk to students, not like Sean does with a career fair, but to go talk to students if they have any questions. We met in the A building and they gave us a bunch of packets to take out, you know, to be with us when we have the talks with the parents and the student or potential student. And you know, I signed up and I went. And my first family that I talked to was Laronda Cornelius. If y'all remember Laronda. She did come to TSU. She came in '88. I'm still cool with the family. Her mother died a couple of years ago, to the point where they asked me to speak at the funeral. You know, it was a magical thing, you know, to where they wanted to keep up. You know, her father called me the other day. He come over for Thanksgiving and spend Thanksgiving with us.
So talking about
It's been a
TSU,
lifetime of doing this.
absolutely. So talking about TSU and your time being there, one of the things a lot of people don't understand about the family connections of TSU and in the makeup, while we're all alumni, and most people look at alumni in different ways, and you are definitely a unique alumni in regards to your story and everything. What I mean by that is, you know, most people assume an alumni is someone who graduated from a university and then they decide to give back. You went to TSU to play football. And can you speak about that? And then
Yes. Went
your
to
membership?
TSU. I don't know if the camera is catching my good angle, but I'm big. I went to TSU to play football and engineering, both of which, at least in the '80s, took a lot of your time. It's another side story about having money to go to school, but we might get into that. But went to TSU for the engineering program and to play football. TSU had a winning football team all the way up to '86 when I was visiting the school in my senior year in high school. I graduated in '87. Got there the fall of '87. I missed the scholarship window to you know, be offered money, but Coach Summerall, defensive line coach, said I can come in and walk on and earn a scholarship, which I didn't. I played 2 years. I started the last two games of the season, and it didn't work out. You know, football didn't work out for me, but I wanted to use football to pay for school. Now, I had money set aside for school. It's just my father wound up squandering it. You know, true story. My father wound up squandering it, and I didn't have any money. And so my involvement with TSU, uh, especially on our level, on the association level, was to give back so I can help as many students as I can, so nobody had to go through what I went through. I was a student there from '87 to '90. I stayed in Nashville to get in-state residency another year, and I'm back at TSU because I'm going to be an alum for real, not just part of the alumni association. I'm back at TSU right now, a student in the executive MBA program. I did graduate
Congratulations.
from Eastern Michigan During all this COVID, I signed up. I said, why not? Last summer I signed up. And so now I'm a student at TSU. I got a T number. We didn't have T numbers back in the 80s. And I'm by December this year, I should be done. I'll be a for real alumni.
Congratulations.
Alum.
That is wonderful.
Perseverance, bruh.
Absolutely, absolutely. So speaking about so going forth and everything you've done, one of the things that you have constantly been doing for the last few years is giving directly to Tennessee State University by means of your paycheck. So every month is something deducted from your paycheck to go to our two scholarships at Tennessee State University from Detroit. One of them being the Detroit Foundation Scholarship, and the other one being formerly known as the Detroit Alumni Book Scholarship, but now has been changed to the Sherman Barton and Harry Franklin Scholarship. So you've been given
That's the book scholarship now?
Yes, that's the book scholarship.
Okay.
Can you speak to your passion to give, what has motivated you to give, and why? And speaking of that, you can share the news on what you recently did in terms of your giving.
So the words think, work, serve meant something to me. I'm sure everybody on this call, it means something to them. Think, work, serve means something to me. Meant something to me when I got there. Watching listening to some of my uncles talk about what will your generation do. When I was younger, what will your generation do? We marched. We fought for y'all. You can go to school. You can go live where you want to live. What will your generation do? And so think, work, serve. I always said think is while you're in college, work, what we doing now, and you got to give some of your money back. God blessing you, you have to bless others. And like I said, I didn't want anybody else to go through what I went through trying to get a degree. It was a long and rough road, but here I am. So as president, and maybe Rita can attest to this, you have ideas and you're trying to motivate people to give money and just give a little bit of something, because everybody go to a homecoming and spend thousands, $800 on just
Repeat
the
what
room
you just said.
alone.
It was a break.
During homecoming.
Repeat
I
what you just
said
said. It was
everybody
like
go
a
to
break.
which
Yeah.
part? How far back?
It was a break right
I
after you
said
said
I wanted
president.
as president. I wanted. It was hard trying to get one people involved to stay motivated, and really to come off some money and give back to TSU. I mean, what's the annual giving rate for HBCUs? 5%? Has it gone up? Do you know?
No, I don't think it went up too much. If it has, probably about
5%.
6.
So these are the educated Black people that went to HBCUs, Tennessee State included. Only 5% decide to give back money. The other 95% wait to homecoming and spend $2-3 grand. Easy. Do you agree? Do you disagree? It'd be nice to have some feedback from somebody.
I can attest to that, George. I spent about $2,500 on one homecoming, the 100th year myself, with hotels, rental cars, and food
Right.
drinks. And it was like a bucket, even though I still give to TSU today. But that's
and we go to homecoming and we enjoy ourselves. Yes,
yeah.
I don't mind spending that money. But also, if everybody gave a little piece of money, so I'm going to the question you asked. I broke the numbers down. I see all these engineers on the call and accountants. I broke the number down, and if everybody gave, now I'm talking about getting paid twice a month on the 1st and 15th, if you like me. If you gave 42 cent, 42 cent, twice a month would be $10 a year. So $4.20 would be $100. $42 would be $1,000. You give $42 24 times a year, you have 1,008. And to answer your question, I started off with $30, and as I got a raise, I said I'm gonna get up to that $1,000 level. And I just recently, I think in October and November, got up to the $42 a month. $42 a check. I get paid twice a month. It's $84 a month times 12, 1,008. And it goes directly into the 2 scholarships. If everyone did that, then say if let's play with some numbers. Anybody got a calculator? Say we have 50,000 alumni, right? 50,000 alumni gave $100 a year. How much is that? Just $100 a year. What you get?
5 million.
5 million every year, just $100. Now we rely on people who rich and all that. We say Oprah and who else? All the professional sports players and people that got money. The Brandenburgs, where is he? The Brandenburgs and people with money to give millions and thousands of dollars. But if everybody did their piece, just $100 a month, $100 a year would be 5 million a year with 50,000 people. Now, if you give, you multiply that $100 times 10, and it's 1,000, what would that be? 50 million at 100% give rate. So that's what changed for me. I would rather do that as opposed to getting people to pay dues, honestly. Instead of getting people to pay dues and come and argue in a meeting, I would rather them give straight to the university, to our scholarships. If they're in Detroit, give to the foundation or give to the book or both. And that's how I have it split up. One of the $42 go to one, the second one go to the other one every month. So it's $504 go to each one every year.
We appreciate that. So anyone on the Zoom call, if you have any questions for George, please feel free to ask your questions, or you can type it in the chat group if you don't want to ask it directly. I will ask it to him. But this is really just an open conversation just to really talk about our alumni and what they do in the community overall and how their passion for TSU has bred them. As you have already heard.
We have to do. I mean, what will our generation do to push the needle forward? I mean, I know this is a little thing and it's only helping a small community, but it's something.
No, absolutely. But even just to think about that, George, you have a family, you have daughters of your own, and one of them is in
Lord
college
have
right
mercy.
now. And one of them's in college right now, and I know she's attending another university. But the fact that you have decided to still give to TSU while none of your kids currently attend TSU is a testament of the Think, Work, Serve motto.
Oh man, TSU, I bleed blue. Yes.
Absolutely.
Play football. And then one of the alumni, we doing pictures at the last thing that last thing at Tony Lyon's house. And doing the pictures, I showed up late because I had something else going that night, and said, George, you are honorary. I said, honorary? What? Honorary? And all the things that has happened and I'm trying to do, and I'm honorary? What? We have to, it kind of low maintenance kind of made me mad, but at the same time, it is what it is. I did not graduate from TSU. I will, but I did not graduate from TSU. So, we have to give back. It's a must. And the easiest way to do it is to do it to where it's set up automatically so you don't think about it. Absolutely. I know you got a bunch of ways. I I invited Ben Northerton. Too bad he couldn't get in, but Ben Northerton to maybe discuss all the different ways that you can give. Maybe you can do a live, share your screen and do a live click and go into the website or something and show them the Detroit Foundation.
Yes, I can definitely go to the TSU website and show the
What's up,
different
Onika?
ways to give. But if anybody got any questions while I'm pulling that up
Lovely.
before I do a live share, please feel free to either type it in the chat
Thank
or
you for
ask them
having me.
directly.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I appreciate it.
No problem. So
Root
it
to the
seems like Onika
Q's.
has a question.
I do. So, Mr. McKinney, how
Okay, we
much?
formal now. Yes, Miss Mobley.
Yes. How much do you encourage your daughters to go to TSU? We know your oldest is
My oldest wasn't having black
now,
college
but
experience, but I don't. TSU was, I want them to go to HBCU. If they choose to go to TSU, cool. Basically just want them out the house, right? But no, I'm kidding. I don't encourage them to go to Tennessee State. I encourage them to follow their own path, follow their own dream. My middle child is looking at Howard and Spelman. I'm good with that. My oldest child is at DePaul. Youngest one don't know yet. She's not sure where she want to go, but I think she'll choose a black college. I keep telling them, go to black college for undergrad and go to Harvard and all that up, MIT or wherever else you want to go for grad school.
thank you.
Then I can do what I want to come homecoming as opposed to being daddy at homecoming if they were there.
Anybody else have any other questions they want to ask George before I try to share my screen to show you all the different
Root
ways
to the Q's.
Tennessee State.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen as George has asked me to show the different ways to give. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is actually the Tennessee State University website. And once you go to this website, you will look under foundation. You will find the University Foundation to Give, which is basically under support TSU, ways to give. Once you click on the ways to give, it comes to this page that we're on, the TSU Foundation page. And within this page itself, if you scroll down, you know, you can make a gift today in this left-hand corner. It tells you about the ways to give, planned giving, donor bill of rights, policy procedures. You can even update your donor information right here, an annual report. And then it also shows the donors from the fiscal year 2020, and then the contact the university right here. But there are multiple ways you can give to Tennessee State University. One of the ways is the online giving.
Hey, Dari.
Yes.
Question, what is the donor wall?
That is everyone who has donated to Tennessee State in 2020. So if you gave $1, you should be featured on that wall. If you gave directly to the university in any capacity, it doesn't necessarily have to be.
Can you click on that and see? Can we see?
Yeah, because I donated last year.
This is the donor wall right here. So just using the name, I'm going to use, you said you donated last year, so we're going to look you up.
I donated last year.
Pittman. And once you run across McKinney, you stop too. I think you passed Pittman on the right, on the fourth column.
Yeah, I did see my name somewhere. Thought I did.
Yeah, I think Pittman is a little bit more down.
Yeah. There you go. I thought I saw my name. There. Keep going. There you go.
Right there. So George McKinney, you see right there.
I keep telling them to take that 1994 off, but oh well.
Well, it'd be 2020 now, so or 2021. Yes. But you can probably update your own information. If you click on the update thing, that's where you update that. So for Pittman, so anyone who's given, your name should be featured here. And if you do not see your name, contact the foundation directly, because it could be an error with the system or something like that. So these are the only Pittmans right here. So you might want to contact the university foundation directly to see what happened.
Okay, yeah, because I did donate. I got my receipt.
Yeah, so their fiscal year, to keep in mind for the university foundation, fiscal year always starts for them. It is from how does it start? So it's from July 1st to June 30th.
Right.
So July 1st every year to June 30th. Now for tax purposes, you can give anytime, like right now we're in 2021. So any donation from January to December of this year, that's only for tax purposes. But for fiscal year purposes for the university, as including the foundation, it's always July 1st to June 30th. So if you gave in October of 2020, your name won't be featured until, I'm just giving an example, your name won't be featured until fiscal year 2021. So you'll be on this wall next year. So that's how that works. But definitely you want to contact the university directly if you have a receipt anytime from, because it says it right here. This is from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020. So if you gave any time after that, please let them, if you gave any time during that time period, let them know. They updated this as of September 11th, 2019. So you want to contact them directly.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. So back to the original page we were on, to give online now, you will see you give that way by clicking the link. Tennessee State University employee giving. If you're an employee of the university, you give directly through your payroll. Electronic funds transfer. I know in years past, Sean Ross used something similar to this to not only give to our foundation here directly, but also to the university. Then they have.
That's what I use right now, the electronics transfer.
Okay. They
you
have.
know, it's a monthly setup. They pull it on the 6th, set it up for the 6th and 17th. I mean 2nd and 17th every month. So right after I get paid.
Then they have the transfer of securities to the TSU Foundation. You can view those instructions for that. Wire transfers, this is how you can do that. And then you can also call the university directly and give them your credit card information. Almost like when you call your church and you want to donate to your church over the phone, you can do that with the university. And then, of course, they still take checks and money orders. So you can also mail your donation to the university. And then a good thing is matching gifts. Some employers actually match gifts. I'm going to click on this because I think this is a unused tap resource for a lot of us. You could type your company in to see which company, if your company is a matching company. So one of the companies I just want to see real quick that we all know, let's just see General Motors. So General Motors name doesn't pop up. Let's click on, let's see if Ford. So
Wow.
there's a lot of different types of Fords, as you
Say Ford
see
Motor
on here.
Company.
Let's see.
No.
So they don't have a matching thing, but you can look on there for anything. But let's just say you decide to give today to the university. So you'll make a gift today by clicking donations. And then once you're there, you can create a profile. You can create a My Account profile. And what you do, you register here for how you want to give. You register your information and all that. But then the other thing, what you have to do to see how the different ways to give, you go to the home page for donations. So this home page shows you all the different, we'll show you the different ways you can give and what type of things you can give to. Let me see where this is at. I'm just gonna log myself in. The way I give right now, currently, I give to a couple of different areas of the university. So I have a couple of different donations that I give, but one of them is directly, this one right here was to the TSU Uncut. They were doing a purge. They were doing a giving campaign. So I gave during this time period to them. But you can see your whole donation history by linking up with that. But those are different ways you can give at the university. You can set it up like what George said, you can set up to have it directly taken from your check a month. The university can walk you through those steps on how to do that. So those are the various ways that you give directly to electronic funds transfer.
Can you go all the way to the Detroit chapter and show that? I mean, Detroit Foundation. If you want to give directly to the foundation,
yeah,
can you get to that link?
One second.
How's everybody doing? What's up, Sean? Trish, we hear you.
What's up, y'all?
So this is the Detroit TSU Foundation. I actually put this in the chat group as well. If you come here, this is how you would be able to give directly to the Detroit TSU Foundation. How you would find it is you go under donations. And you go under donations, then you have to click on the Detroit Alumni and Chapter Funds. And this is where you would actually be able to like give your amount or what you want to give here. But you have to be registered on here and everything in order to do that. Because I already have set up my way to give directly to both of those a month. Mm-hmm. But that's the quickest link on how to go about doing it. If you're having trouble accessing it, let me know. But that's the quickest way I send out to people to give directly to the university. This is if you want to fill out a form to give your direct contribution to the university, to how you want to set it up and how you want to pledge it. If you don't feel comfortable joining the website, this is the form you would fill out and you'll mail it in to the university to have your setup for the annual contribution taken out. Any questions about giving or any questions for George and his commitment to giving and how he has went about giving to the university?
Well, I will say this: it would be nice to for as many people to give to the foundation and the book club. I mean, book was it the Sherman Barton and Harry Franklin book scholarship now? Yeah. To where the money will already be sitting there for students once they sign on to receive the scholarship, as opposed to us having to send it every year.
I totally agree with you on that, and I appreciate those sentiments. So is any lasting words as we close out? Anybody?
Well, I have a question for Sean. How is with the HBCU network, he the president of the presidents. How does that go with all the different other schools? Do you have one that's like number one in their give back? And what do they do that we can model them?
You know what I discovered is that a lot of the smaller schools seem to have a better turnover in regards to donations. It seems like a lot of the smaller private schools have better give back. in regards to
Define small school like what?
Morehouse. Actually, Morehouse is a good.
Morehouse is a small school?
I mean, in comparison to us, yeah. I mean, they're a
Oh,
small
okay.
school, you know. And I don't think they're doing anything different than what we're doing. I mean, the thing nowadays for a lot of giving is encouraging people not to worry about trying to hit a home run as far as writing a big check versus small checks. So that's the mindset with a lot of our alumni associations, especially locally. So I mean, but it's a big return on it now, with that mentality versus, everybody says it, you hear people all the time saying that they can't afford to give back, which to me is that they dig a little bit deeper, they actually could. Let's be for
That's
real.
why I said that break it down to $4.20 a
Yeah,
month, a check, or $8.40 a month is $100. $100 is something. It's 5 million.
exactly. It's simple math, and people. It's all about priorities. Everybody in here got a friend that got a $5 a day Starbucks habit. So there's your scholarship money. Just keeping it all the way real. I mean, just little things like that will help, go a long way. I mean, yeah, everybody's starting to give a little to, get a big return. So nobody's trying to write a big check unless they truly can. So everybody's using that model. We were having our general body meeting last week, and that was brought up by one of the brothers from Morehouse. He said, look, he's pretty much challenging everybody to do the same thing that we've been doing for a long time now, just having it directly coming out of our bank accounts and not even missing it. So that's the trend right now. And it's paying big dividends for these for all schools.
I will say this too, to everybody, if you can put your thinking caps on and put our heads together, with the vice president being from HBCU, how can we capitalize on that? HBCU, at least for the next 4 years, is going to be a hot thing. How can we capitalize on that? Stacey Abrams too, that helped out Georgia. Kamala Harris from Howard. It was somebody else. Clyburn from South Carolina State. He's wearing his hat at the inauguration.
Yeah.
What can we do to capitalize on the momentum for HBCUs right now?
Well, a part of it is 2020 was probably our best selling point that you probably seen in decades. A lot of people came out the woodwork in a sense as far as the political landscape in regards to a number of our HBCU graduates moving up the corporate ladder. A lot of it was, of course, based on the current climate in the country, but it put us at the forefront. So right now, the best thing we can do, especially right now locally, is be our own walking billboards. That's the biggest thing.
What do you mean by that? By wearing Perry every time you go out? What you mean?
As much as you can. I mean, but I know, like, every time I have on paraphernalia, people stop me, and usually it ain't even somebody. It's not even usually in most cases. It's not even somebody from TSU. It's from people from other schools that I think have representation here. I run into people from UAPB, Russ College, Stillman, schools that you normally don't hear, or run into up here. So it makes a world of difference in regards to making that connection. I mean, it helps me, get the word out in regards to the network. And I mean, yeah, we really have to be our own walk, here in Detroit, because we're on the upswing, fortunately. And I mean, Detroit has one of the largest alumni bases, so we have to truly take advantage of it. Right now, we're in a position where we need to be plastering it all over the place. You know, I see a number.
You know what's been always a dream of mine for you?
What's
and
that?
I shared this with you before. For you and the Divine Nine to be walking in the parade every Thanksgiving. All the HBCUs and Divine Nine somehow, some way, walk with a float and be in the parade every Thanksgiving. Let the whole world see us. Starting with Detroit.
I'm about to get a TSU snowsuit.
Whatever. Even if we do like you know how the businessmen just walk, the businessmen they do every year, you know, with the suitcases.
Yeah.
Even if we just walking down the street with, you know, with TSU, Morehouse, Spelman, FAMU.
I think
something.
It's doable. I think it's definitely doable. I think a lot of our
Especially with the Divine Nine,
Right.
you could have the Qs, the AKAs, and everybody. That has always been a dream of mine for you.
Well, I mean,
Be in a parade every Thanksgiving.
I think it's doable. We just have to tap into the right people to make it happen. And I'm sure a number of our alumni, you know, between the alumni and the Divine Nine, I'm sure we can get a lot of people out there to participate in that. I don't even doubt that part. I mean, you know, just gonna have to bundle up. So hopefully, you know, we can make it happen. You know, we got time between now and November, so maybe we can talk to some folks to make that happen.
Absolutely. So I do appreciate, Sean, you giving the insight. Congratulations on the Detroit HBCU Network celebrating 15 years this year. That is a major honor. George, again, thank you for this conversation. And I hope the alum on the call and as well as this video will be shared with future alums, well, current alums and more. So be on the lookout for this to be posted out and shared out, and that you can, so that people can learn about the ways to give. This is just a one of many conversations we will have with Tennessee State alum across the board. If anybody has any other questions for George or comments before we end this conversation, please don't hesitate to ask these questions now, because it's, as alumni, sometimes our stories are never told. So this is the best way I feel we can tell our stories and get a lot, and also learn about each other, because, you know, it's George, I never knew George visited with a family, and that's how he got started and being able to connect, and that family still stays connected to him to this day. You know, that's the type of family stuff.
Two daughters went to Tennessee. Well, the one that I went to the house for, Laronda Cornelius, she's now Laronda Holloman. And then her older sister, her next older sister, wound up coming to Tennessee State too.
Wow. So that's those type of things that's not always shared, but we want to try to make sure.
We're a family. Once we get you, we got you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, George, just want to thank you for everything you do for the Detroit chapter and for TSU, and congratulations on the executive MBA program.
I was going to say, Rita, I read your message, and I was going to thank you, Rita. Thank you. I read your message in the chat, and I was going to say thank you and shout it out to you, but thank you.
My pleasure.
Anybody else? Any comments, questions?
Of all the people that you could have started with, we got a whole lot of wonderful people in our chapter in this area that gives. But thank you for starting with me.
No, I appreciate you, and I thank you. You were the first person I wanted to choose, because one thing I have to say about George is that even as membership, when he was membership chair, he had a mechanism to his madness of being a membership chair, and he really, you can see the passion and connections. Even when he was the chapter president, he connected different decades and generations to each other, and that's I felt that was needed to bring about this series. And I think this is one of many. I've reached out to other people to be a part of the series. So next month, be on the lookout for someone else to tell their story. And then just your overall passion and uniqueness. And when I say uniqueness, like you said, how someone called you honorary, you
honorary,
took offense
man.
to that.
Honorary? Really?
And that's the reality that everybody has their feelings on what they feel an alumni is or alumnus of the university is. But the reality is, like you said, once you went to TSU, you're family. So it doesn't matter if you graduated, if you went there a year, you went there a semester, you claim in TSU, and we want you to be able to claim it, and we want you to be a part of the alumni association and to give back, even if it's
Yeah, I'm gonna
$1,
have a Tennessee
$5 or
State
something.
degree on my wall. It's gonna have master MBA on it. It's gonna be a look. Hopefully COVID will be over so we can party a little bit too, right?
Absolutely. Anybody else got any questions, comments? Well, thank you all for being a part of the first conversation of the Detroit Tennessee State University
Rude.
Alumni Association Foundation speaker series on Think, Work, Serve. We appreciate our speaker today and having a conversation with George McKinney. Hope you all learned something, and we look forward to many more donations and conversations throughout this year as we still stay safe, we stay strong. But before we close out, I have to really acknowledge one alumnus who has been instrumental in both the chapter and foundation. Harry Franklin, his family lost his son, Troy Franklin, and we really want to take this moment and just have a moment of silence for Harry. Thank you all for participating in that moment of silence. Keep his family
I gotta add
uplifted.
this side note. One of the things that I wanted to try to do, and it was for Troy. Troy pay his dues every year. Well, he's a W amputee. If you haven't met him, he been having medical problems for a while, and he pay his dues every year. He can't come to the meetings, so that's why I was trying to start the virtual meetings, way back 2016, 17. So somebody like him can participate from the comfort of his bedroom, living room, like we doing now. And it's unfortunate that these past 2 years is being what it is, but pray for the family.
Thanks for sharing that story, George. We definitely want to keep the Franklins in our prayers. Be on the lookout for information pertaining to a memorial service for Troy. Definitely keep Harry's wife in your prayers as well. She's a TSU alum. And the whole Franklin family pays their dues every year, regardless of anything.
Every year in May.
That's the commitment that they have.
Before the fiscal year starts, they pay. We can't hear you, Hadari.
We appreciate Harry and the family for everything.
Yeah.
So definitely keep them in your prayers and just keep them uplifted and reach out to him if you have his phone number. He definitely would enjoy the conversation. So it's good to see everyone. Hope to see everyone again soon in person or and virtually. But more so, like George said, when COVID-19 is all and over, we hope to get together and have as much fun with Big Blue Love. So y'all stay safe in the meantime. Thank you all for joining the call.
All right, no
All
problem.
right, take
You
care.
too.